Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mario Pedro Gould. You are now tuned into the Alpha Success Television Network. I have a powerful question for you. The powerful question for you is this, ladies and gentlemen. What is it that you sincerely desire to manifest in your life? There's one thing, ladies and gentlemen. Take a moment and reflect with me. I know there's one thing that you really want with every fiber of your being. There's one thing that you really want to manifest, but you haven't up until now. So the question that you should be asking yourself at this point is, well, why haven't I realized my dream? What is it that is holding me back from that which I desire? What's holding me back? What's holding me back from getting that car, from getting that wife, from climbing up the ladder of success, elevator style? What's holding me back? Of course, it's very obvious. We're gonna say the one word. What's holding you back is fear. You haven't been able to attract the mate that you desire because you're scared to talk to XYZ. You haven't been able to improve your life financially because you're scared to take a risk. You have not been able to get yourself into a great physical body because you're scared that you might fail. But this is no news to you, and you're probably saying, Mario, don't waste our time. We already know about this chronic disease called fear. Give us something more tangible, something that we can use. Sit tight. I'm here. Somebody once told me that majority of the fears that we have actually originate from something that happened in our childhood. I recorded that information. The other day somebody told me that there's so much that they want to achieve in life. They want to become a man of means. But they are scared, ladies and gentlemen, to face their fears. And I told him, thank you. You have given me a very powerful topic to explore. What are these fears that are hidden? How do we uncover these fears that are hidden? How do we erase these fears that are hidden? And if these fears are originating in our childhood, ladies and gentlemen, it is incumbent upon us to actually risk going through pain to discover what it is that we're trying to hide, so we can get rid of it once and for all, and we can progress to our promised land of milk and honey. So one day in my reflective state, I decided to write down a list of things that happened to me in my childhood which I perceived wrongly, which made me reach a wrong conclusion about myself. I am unworthy, I am unlovable, I am not good enough. Phenomenal exercise. I'm going to go here with you. Get a pen and paper. I'm going to show you how to uncover your beliefs, how to understand what's happening with those memories, and how to actually erase them. And before I actually go further, I'd like to introduce a new concept known as cellular memories. When you're young and something happens to you, maybe you're 15 and you get rejected by XYZ, the feeling of rejection is so painful and you don't want that to happen to you again, so your body records that as a cellular memory. So when you grow up and in the same situation, you behave like the child that you were when you were 15. And this is the cause of self-sabotage behavior. So I sat down and I filled up a paper with all the things that happened to me when I was a child that made me look at myself in a wrong manner. Filled up the whole paper. Yes, I had a dysfunctional childhood. So I'd like to share with you a few of them here so I can spur you on towards your own journey of self-exploration. So a few things happened to me. One thing was when I was 15 years old, my mom, in quotes, abandoned me and moved to England. My mom was having challenges with my dad, in their marriage, and it was becoming very difficult. It was mentally and physically abusing on her, and she decided to run away from my father. So I came home, and there was a letter for me from my mom telling me that she had gone to England. But when I read that letter, ladies and gentlemen, it was one of the few times I've cried in my life. I cried in the washroom, and I said, Mama left me. And from that moment on, I developed a fear, ladies and gentlemen, a fear of loss. Okay? A fear of loss. I remember at the age of 16 years old, I approached a beautiful lady from a very wealthy family, Catherine Claudio, from a higher class family. It was Valentine's Day. I bought an expensive roses with all the money I had. I bought a big card. I think I rented a car, to go and see this lady and, give her a Valentine's gift. And you know what? She said, I ain't having nothing. And I believe that it was because I was from a lower social class and she was from a higher social class. So I perceived there was something wrong with me. I am not good enough to get this girl that I want. Okay, this is a process that we're going through, the conclusions that we reach. A powerful one was the relationship that I had with my father. My father told me all the time I was a failure. I was going to be a failure for the rest of my life. Where we come from in Africa, we get beat when we fail exams. So my father used to give me some serious ass whoopings, and I used to be beaten so much I got so scared of my dad, and I used to ask myself, what is wrong with me? Is there something wrong with me? Why is Papa beating me? Things like this. And you reach certain conclusions in your childhood. So I remember my father was not having dinner with me. My father would not take me to school and pick me up from school. My father would not give me recognition, and he wouldn't show me love. So I share these deep experiences with you to show you how we can reach wrong conclusions. When I went through these experiences, especially with my dad, I started reaching conclusions that, hey, I am unloved. I am unloved. There's something wrong with me. There's something wrong with me. And this is the origin of different fears that people have in their adult stage. So as I went through this exploration process, I had to come to certain conclusions after looking at all the things that happened in my childhood. So you'll write on all the things that happened in your childhood and then spend some time in reflection and reach some conclusions. Well, what does this mean? So for me, the conclusion that I reached, like I said, my dad was a big part of it, was the one person that I needed love from the most didn't give it to me. He made me believe that there was something wrong with me. And unconsciously, I began to believe that if there is something wrong with me, others will see there's something wrong with me. And if others see there's something wrong with me, others will not give me love. And if I don't receive love, then I feel that there's something wrong with me, and it becomes a self-perpetuating cycle. So the result of all of these thoughts, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to see how this turns into self-sabotage. The result of all this is, low self-worth, low self-esteem, looking at yourself with unworthiness feelings. And that led to me engaging in certain kind of behaviors in my adult age that was actually not serving me and was actually self-sabotaging me. So some of the behaviors that I could easily trace in my adulthood was, I try to prove there's nothing wrong with me. So I overcompensate. I'm always trying to prove that, yeah, I'm the man. So trying to prove, guys do that. I don't know how women do it, but we find a way to overcompensate our insecurities. I would be very needy for love. So if I'm in a relationship, I get needy for love. I'm scared of not being loved, and therefore I manipulate relationships in order to receive love. Okay? I'm scared of not getting what I want, and this leads me to engage in controlling behavior. I always want to control my environment and everything that's around me. So, ladies and gentlemen, when you discover how you're behaving and its relationship to your childhood, it gives you the opportunity to break free from it. So the first thing is to bring it up, bring up, the childhood issues and understand the conclusions, the impact of them, and then, what is some of the behaviors that you engage in. So once I finished this process, then I realized, oh, Mario, you have a significant challenge. And the challenge that I had was, I have to find a way to develop a love for myself that does not depend on receiving love externally. I have to love myself innately. And the two things need to happen for this to be realized. Number one is I have to heal the wounds, the cellular memories, the painful cellular memories that I spoke of. I have to bring them up and I have to heal them. And once I heal them, then I have to program my inner child with messages of love. I love you and accept you, Mario. I love you and accept you, Mario. I love you completely and accept you as you are, Mario. And the proof for me being successful in doing this would be to look at, am I successful spiritually? Am I successful, in business? Am I successful financially? Am I successful in my body? Am I successful in my peace of mind? Am I successful relationally? Because the external environment, ladies and gentlemen, is a reflection of your internal environment. So when I discovered all these challenges that I was dealing with, I came up with some key things that I have to do in order to realize, to overcome, the pain in my childhood and turn myself around. And the key things that I came up with was reflection. I have to reflect throughout my life so I get to know myself better. I have to observe myself when I'm interaction day to day. I'm talking to a lady. I say, hey, after we have dinner, can we go home to my place? She says, no. I observe myself and see how I behave. Is there a part of me that still needs affirmation? Prayer. Reaching up to my Father who art in the heavens for strength, wisdom, guidance, intuition, grace, and love. Meditation, so I can see the river of thoughts that are flowing inside my consciousness. I am not my body, I am not my mind, I am the seer. Yoga and also gratitude. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, once I went through all of this, I started posing questions to my unconscious mind and to God. Why do you want to pose questions to your unconscious mind? Is because your unconscious mind can be a slave that goes to work for you when you are doing other things. So if you say, how can I make more money? How can I make more money? How can I make more money? And you go about your day, it's going to solve it for you. So I came up with a few questions that were important. Was how do I develop an innate love for myself? How do I learn how to accept myself? How can I see everything is right with me? How do I develop high self-esteem? What is my lesson, Mario? What does God want me to do here? How do I forgive myself? How can I forgive my father? How can I become emotionally competent? How can I stop sabotaging my relationships, ladies and gentlemen? And how can I learn to love more? Nobody said it would be easy. You want to learn how to stop sabotaging yourselves. The process is simple, but it's not easy. You have to uncover the painful cellular memories of things that happened to you in your childhood. You have to bring them to the surface, look at them objectively, and see what kind of conclusions that you reach. Make a link between them and the behaviors of today, and then come up with a plan on how you're going to erase those and pass it on to your subconscious mind to solve these issues for you. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, I'm wishing you a prosperous day. Adios!